I'm at the corner of Highway 59 and Laurel Avenue in Foley, Alabama, and I'm going to cross the street to see the Holmes Medical Museum. There's a bookstore, of course, on the bottom level, but we're headed to the museum part.
Hello, we are here in Foley, Alabama at the Holmes Medical Museum, and a little spiel about the museum. It was upstairs on the second floor of this building. This part of the building was the grocery store. When a person walks through this doorway, they'll see the stairs that take them up to the old hospital. The hospital was up there from 1936 up until 1958. That was 22 years. They had about 200 babies born up there. One of them was a famous football player named Kenny Stabler, who played for the Oakland Raiders. He was born here on Christmas Day of 1945 in their surgery room, which acted also as a birthing room. God bless those ladies who had babies there. They had 7 private patient rooms, and the charge per night to stay here was $9. Then they just shut it down when the new hospital opened up, which is a mile north of here. They shut this down, went to open the new hospital, and they never came back to get their things. Therefore, it is now a museum, and it's fabulous, fun, odd, quirky, and even charming. Enjoy.
Thank you so much. Who's the picture of up here? I can't.
That's my boyfriend. No, I'm just kidding. That's Dr. Sibley Holmes. He is a handsome old chap, don't you think?
I do.
He is the person who started his medical practice here, and then his son came and joined him, and his son is the one that opened the hospital after he died. He died in 1933.
Anything fascinating about your skeleton over here?
He was a donation from Sacred Heart Hospital in Pensacola. He was used for teaching. He came in without a right hand, so a local doctor in town with a 3D printer printed him a right hand. His name is George, and George wants to leave, but he doesn't have the guts. There you go.
Very good.
There's my bones humor. And then there's also a skeleton upstairs, but he's real. I mean, he's a real skeleton, human skeleton.
I'm not going to take the time to read all the information on these men and the hospital and the nurse, which was a wife to Dr. W.C. Holmes, but you may want to pause and read it because it did have some good information on it. Now let's take a good look at the first part of the museum, which was actually, she said, the grocery store to start with, even though it's got a lot of medical stuff in here as well that you'll be looking at. But it does have a few things that still belong to the store. Well, as you can see, this wheelchair here has got like a wicker back, and wheelchairs today certainly aren't like that. I love the old doctor's bags, and there's another one of the wheelchairs. Of course, the cash register part would be into the part that went into the grocery store. And it's also got a butcher block here, it said, from the market part. Well, let's head on upstairs to see the actual part that was considered the hospital here. Here's a good picture of what the museum looks like even today. Well, I've actually decided to go to the very back of the museum and work my way forward. And I will give you just enough of this that you may want to pause it so you can read all about it. And of course, the same goes today. There's a schedule for visiting hours, and there it is. And this is the original sign, it says, for those visiting hours. This section here would have been your waiting section to get in to see the doctor. And I'm going over here to also show you this sign, and you may want to pause it so you can read it and maybe enlarge it some. And we'll go on in his office too while we're there at the doorway. Looks like he might have liked music pretty well. And looks like he could have been a pipe smoker. Well, back out to the waiting area. Looks like a nurse's cape there and a cap. And we're going to go around, and I'm going to give you a picture, or I should say a little bit of a video of his son's office. And I'll get a little bit straighter on, and maybe you want to pause and read about his son. Let's see what his office looks like. As the father and son duo worked here together for a while, at least, at the same time. And there's his name up on the door. And we're going to take a look at the bathroom. As you can see right by his door that they had a bathtub with claw feet, as they called it. I love the old medicine cabinet over there. This looks like this might have been for the dental chair. A microscope on. I'm not sure if that's a drilling machine. I guess you would call it for the dental work, but it kind of scares me to look at it. And the son's wife was Philomene, and this was her office, as she kind of was a manager up here at the hospital. And she was an RN. And I'm going to give you a look at her poster on her if you want to pause it to take time to read. Even though they got it set up with some stuff for her and all, it tells you that this was originally the cook's quarter. cozy little room, and I want to tell you, or should say show you, what it tells about it. And this is where the nursery was for the babies, but floors are old, as you can tell, and a little squeaky, but I want to show you the first one they got listed up there. That is of Kenny Stabler. But the baby crib, it says, is from the Smithsonian Institute, but not able to put a date on it. Children's crutches from the 1940s, it said. They have a framed picture of Kenny Stabler's jersey from the inducted into the Hall of Fame, and a picture of him up there with his coach. But they also had triplets born here, and it showed them before and after. I'm not taking the time to read all the signs and all. I figure if you're real interested in it, you may want to pause and read it for yourself on the ones that are up close enough for you to read. And give you a glimpse into the patient bathroom, as she told me downstairs that they had a nifty collection in here, and they do. It looks like they have a collection of urinals and bedpans. And of course, every hospital has to have a pharmacy room so that they could get medicines to the doctor. Looks like they have collected a lot of medical instruments to be used in here.